Welcome to Subbuilding 101, a series where I teach you guys how to build submarines in the Barotrauma editor. By the end of this episode, you'll have a watertight, walkable submarine skeleton with all the essential systems in place. Let's get started, building the bones of your sub. First, I'd like to make a quick layout sketch. Nothing too fancy, I just want to figure out where I want what room. Right, before drawing anything, you need to know what rooms you need. We're going to need a command room with a navigation terminal and a status monitor. We're going to need a reactor room with a reactor, junction boxes, and an oxygen generator. We can also separate the oxygen generator into a separate room. Furthermore, we need an engine room with an engine. This can merge with the reactor, but it's safer to have them separately. Then we need 2 ballast tanks. Well, you can also have 1, but I like having 2, with at least 1 pump. And we need to mark these as ballast. Further, we're going to add in cabinets and a bit of storage area with a medical room and diving suit lockers. These are going to be near the airlock to make sure we have easy access to them from the outside. At last, we're going to add a gun deck with some periscopes and gun loaders, as well as a small storage area for some coil gun ammo or other kind of ammo if you want that. Here we are. We have nothing yet. So take your little sketch or whatever the fuck you made. Just look at it and we're going to copy this in the game. So what we're now going to do is you're going to look up hull. You're going to grab this. You're just going to put it down. Zoom in. Just make sure you actually select hulls here. It's under here. Hulls and gaps on. You're going to grab this. You're going to drag it out a bit. What I usually like to do is I like to take a door. There's different types of doors. I usually like using the auto closing door or the auto closing window door so the ship doesn't flood. And I already have the perfect size here. Just make sure you size this up, the hull part, like equal to the door, because this is going to be your actual like floor. Like this is basically your room, essentially. This is your room. We are going to now copy your entire sketch, so what we just made, into the editor here by drawing these rooms and doors. So what we're going to do is we're going to just draw every room that we just made. Select, click, and you can drag it over. Just make sure they touch each other. Make sure they're not overlapping like this. Make sure they're up against each other. And then just drag them out. Right now, I'm just going to take over all the hull parts of my sketch and then I'll be back. Okay, so now that we've got all of the hulls drawn out, so this will be the command room, this is the airlock. I decided to make it a horizontal airlock. I like that more. It's going to be oxygen, armory, storage, ballast tank B, ballast tank A, engine, reactor, junction. This is going to be the gun deck and this is going to be command. Right now what we'll do, just click any hull or like drag over it, which is going to go here, and you're going to name every hull that you made. This is going to help the AI navigate. Further, this is going to, like, when you have your status monitor, this is going to be the room name that is actually displayed in the monitor. So just name everything what you want it to be. Well, this is actually going to be split. This is going to be the airlock axis. Sorry about that. And just again, just copy paste. And the actual airlock is going to be a different hull because we need to be able to flood this while this stays dry. Just make sure you name everything. Doesn't really matter where everything is, as long as it's in the right place in your sketch. For the ballast tanks, you need to like actually select ballast tank A and ballast tank B if you have multiple, else the game is going to get confused. Okay, so now we have made the layout of the ship, we have named every room, and we have a rough idea of where we want everything. So next step, before we do anything else, is we're going to place all the essential items in the rooms where they have to go. So the command room should have a navigation terminal, and that is a status monitor. And I like to add a periscope in to my command room as well. Look through here and look out of the submarine. I just think it's really cool, so I usually add it. So just do that. Okay. Then we're going to reactor to add the reactor. Engine, go with the small engine for now. Actually, it's going to be a little small. So this is why I have you guys do this shit now, because you can actually still resize the rooms relatively easy instead of you having to like move all of your hull parts and whatever the fuck you made here. Like if you build the entire shell around it now and you want to like expand the room, it's gonna be really annoying. So for junction, it's actually pretty important. I usually like adding 1 junction box in the reactor room. Like you can still move this later, it's okay. And then I like adding 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. You can maybe add 5 if you're if you have a big ship. But we'll get to the wiring later. Just add 4 for now and just make sure you have plenty of space in your junction compartment. We will also be adding a few batteries. So we have the reactor in, the engine, nav terminal, this stuff. Like, I'm just thinking in my head, like we can have the ladder here, go up here, have a door here, get in the airlock, and then here's the actual airlock itself. Like, this is the room with the diving suits then. We're going to have the gun deck here. Really think about how many guns you want. I'm building a ship with 3 guns, but if you have more, you should add more of these. Every gun requires at least 1 periscope base. I'm just gonna only add coil guns, so add coil gun loaders, and we'll get to the linking of these later. So you have 3 loaders because we are doing 3 coil guns. As you can see, the coil guns, they are pretty big. Attach one to the front here. If you were like this and you can't rotate it, just click on it and you can go here. You rotate it, just drag these to reposition the gun. Like, what you're controlling here is the range that it can fire, so it cannot swing more left now, so it can only fire in this like cone. And we're just gonna drag it out a little because it's gonna be on like the front of the ship, on the actual shell and not on the hull. So I'm gonna add one in the back as well, so kind of like this. What we're going to add now is the 2 ballast tanks. Like, if you click on the ballast, like you only click the ballast and then you select the other ballast, so you select all the ballast hulls, you can see the optimal ballast level. So right now that's 0.28. This means that the ballast level will be at 29% to be stationary. You can see if I only select 1, it would need to be 0.50, and that's actually what you want to aim for. The game is telling me here that I can probably get away with 1 ballast. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to remove 1 ballast tank here, and we're just going to have a big one. And you can see as I'm dragging it out, you see how it changes? I think that's really small in the video, but you can probably tell that it changes. So I think I'm just gonna have 1 big tank. You can move things still because we're still building the ship, and you can move the stuff. I think I'm actually going to put the armory under here, drag this out, and we're going to make a little diving room that we're going to add here in between. So here you'll have a little walkway, and we'll have the diving lockers. Just make sure you get the wired ones, they're way easier. So now we have junction, this and this, the gun deck. Now we just need a pump in the ballast tank. Go like this. Probably add it on the side because we want a ladder here. Go to the pump, go to tags, and type ballast. Literally like this, not in any other way. This is for the AI to know what pumps are being used to regulate the ballast of the sub, like the up and down. If you do not do this, they will, I don't know what they do actually, but the wiki is telling us to add this, so we add it. Okay, so now that we've added pump and marked it as ballast, we are going to add in the hatches, and you're going to see a problem actually. Wait, we can probably, yeah, we should probably do armory first. So we're going to add a secure cabinet, normal cabinet, a large normal cabinet. I think 2 ammunition shells will do. And what you'll start to notice as soon as I go on the hatch, you're going to see this. This part needs to be inside of an of a wall, so like in an inner wall here. So the ceiling is going to clip through our shells right now. That's something we don't want. So we have to move everything here basically down, and we're gonna expand this up here. And for the sake of it, not floor. Hold on, what's that called? We're gonna scroll here. You're going to have these walls, the large horizontal inside walls. You can just click those in, and they can resize them here, so like that. And you can see it touches perfectly. The gap is perfectly inside this hull, and it's touching the other hull. So if this one fills up, it's going to have water flow down, and if this one fills up, it's going to have water flow up. Just make sure it actually touches the, like, it's in between 2 hulls and it touches the other hull. If you don't have that, it's going to give you this notification. Just reposition it then, so like you can see the arrows. So we're gonna have to reposition everything a little bit so we can actually have a floor in the sub. So just take your hull, just drag it down. Then you're going to pull this up, just make sure they touch again, and then you're going to be set. So you're going to click your wall, or your floor, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and there you go. You can drag that out, and you are going to add another hatch somewhere where you want. Just make sure it's an auto closing hatch or auto opening hatch. It doesn't really matter, whatever the fuck you want. The wiring is exactly the same, and then you're going to have your floor in here, and it's the exact same way as I explained here. So now we have something interesting. We have a hatch in between 2 hulls, and you're gonna be like, oh, I have no clue how to do this. First of all, drag them so that they're lined up. They're touching the inner wall actually, and they're both touching the hatch. Like, this on itself will work. It will just be that there will be water in between the hatch now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the floor, so like the one that's on the bottom, as you can see here, we're going to drag this one, and we're going to make it touch the upper hull. There you go. So essentially the floor will be the roof of the hull below, if that makes sense. So this one, you're going to drag it up. There you go. This one, make sure you do it with everyone. You're going to drag it up. And this one a little. You can have this part. This is the part that needs to be outside of the hull. You can reposition that with this. D90. That will do for now. We'll probably adjust that later. That's okay though. And you can already see the sub is coming together a little bit more. We've added all the complex hatches. We have made sure that all the hatches are sticking to each other and whatever. So now we're going to have the doors. If you did not forget to actually line up like your hull height with the door height, you're going to have a problem now. But since we did that, we can just place them in perfectly. And where you're going to place them is you're going to either place them on the left side or the right side of the hull, or if your grid is not aligning, you can also just like place them directly in between the doors. Doesn't really matter. Okay, perfect. One more here. So now we have a sealed gun deck, sealed junction room, or sealed reactor once we build the walls here. This is going to be fine. This is fine. Once again, just make sure it's on either side of the hull. It doesn't matter where, just as long as it's on one side. Sorry, I forgot about the storage area. So just take some crate shelves, add however many you want to, maybe a cabinet. The oxygen generator is also something I forgot. Just make sure you add in all the items. And it's okay to forget things, like on most vanilla subs, you also have some munition shelves up here. Add those in here now. I think we have most of the sub finished. If you want to test your sub within the spawn point, anywhere, doesn't matter where, just make sure it says human and any. You can actually click on your sub. Like you can hit test and it's going to be really dark. Turn up your gamma. You can actually already walk in the sub. Like you can test your sub out right now. Like just check if there's any water in between the hatches or the doors. If so, you really want to double check that you have everything like lined up together and that everything is synced up. If you have any water, you fucked up one of the hulls or the gaps. But if you have any water in between your hatches or doors, make sure they are touching and they're not like off like this or off like this or more off like this, whatever. Just make sure they're really like this. Also for the floor here, we'll just copy a piece, this, and then what I usually like to do, because these pieces are now really big and I don't really want a big floor here, you can just scale them down, drag them over, and now you have a small floor. You can also do that with the roof here, because if you make these too big, you cannot reach the outside wall. Like we're gonna have the outside shell over here. You cannot reach that from the inside with your welding tool, so just make sure you slim it down a bit. Like here it's not a problem because there's no outside shell. Here it is. And speaking of the outside shell, we're going to add that now. So go to structure, scroll down, and we're going to have all these shell pieces. They're gonna look really complex. They are pretty annoying in the beginning, but once you get used to them, it's really easy. So what I usually like to do, just get a shell A 0 degrees. So you're gonna put that and you're just gonna slam it on top. Like you're gonna get the easy areas first, drag it out, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, paste it down here. Then you're gonna go to mirror and you're going to mirror Y axis, drag it along your hull. There you go. This piece is really easy because it's straightforward. There you go. Mirror Y. There you go. Place it along here. You can either like slam it right up into here, or you can do it a little bit like this, and we'll add the curved parts later. For the airlock here, it's actually going to be pretty interesting now. We're looking at this, because what we have done here, we've used the inner wall for the actual outside part of the sub. So we're going to drag this back and we're going to take this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, make sure it lines up. Like you can see, it doesn't line up with the hull here now. If that's going to piss you off, hold down shift so you can snap it per pixel. I can see this is really ugly right now, so we'll just scale it down till you have the effect that you wished for. What I usually like to do with the engine area and the back is just take my wall piece actually, and I just go to rotation and I just put 90. You're gonna see it's gonna rotate the wrong way, so just mirror X, like tape it off, close it. In a way, you're not going to see this part of the sub anymore, so you can make it kind of ugly, because we're going to put a shell around it here and we're going to put a shell around it here. The really basic shape of the hull. Actually, this looks kind of ugly, and I do want to say we forgot some walls here. Just make sure you don't actually forget this. Ballast tanks, make sure you close them off. I can't believe I actually missed that. Yeah, probably like this. So you're gonna have a billion curved shapes. I usually like using these ones, or just any shape that works. Just don't make them too big. Like you kind of have to fit this in for yourself. I can't really explain this, but it's basically like you just have to figure out what works for your sub. I can't help with that because I don't know what your sub is. Just make sure it kind of aligns and kind of looks okay-ish. I usually just fill areas like this up with more walls because it just like it's added protection. If you're building a better sub than I am currently, Like, I would advise you to round off this part because this looks absolutely horrible. That way it's gonna look more like a submarine instead of a fucking can or something, whatever the fuck I just built. To have the engine room back here. Just make sure you actually add the hull back in. And we're going to add the nose part actually. As you can see, it's too big, so we're just going to size it down a little, size it up a little, so it actually covers the thing. Mess around with this if you want a proper shell. Like, this is just going to piss me off at this point. That should be our bow. Add either a gun on the front, or if you're adding a transducer, you can add that on the front here as well if you like that. That's for if you're adding a drone. That's for later. So just keep it with the guns now. Yeah, like this. Let's add some fins. Can either... Oh, wait. Here, we don't even need those pieces. You can just slap the fin over it, and then you're good. So further, we're gonna have to watch this hull because this one is really close to the outside of the sub. All of these hulls, you can see that they're only inside of the sub. We're going to actually drag them out a bit into the wall so that the game is actually like, there's no way that the game is gonna think that there's water inside the sub. I usually just like doing that as feel safe. So now we have walls everywhere, we have stuff everywhere, and we have a basic skeleton. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in the last few storage areas. So we're going to need a reactor cabinet, an engineering cabinet, we'll put down here, fly cabinet, yeah. Just make sure you kind of sprinkle these around the submarine. Cabinet for the airlock with the diving gear, diving suit, wired suits here. There we go. You can actually see that it's kind of small now. We'll just scoot this over. There you go. There you go. You can already see these wired suits, they're already like wired up to a relay, but that's gonna be for when we're actually wiring the sub, which is going to be next episode. So we have a airlock locker, we have suits, we have a storage locker, engineering cabinet, reactor cabinet, and emergency cabinets, and I think that's about it. Just make sure you don't forget the ladders. Get the ladder out, put it halfway through your room maybe. If it ends, then just drag it into the floor. And the most important part now, what I usually like to do, is get some lamps. Like this is just for testing. Put it to like select your lamp. Just place the lamp anywhere. You can also turn off these. Just make sure you have a spawn point in. Then take a lamp. Just place the lamp in. Put to S on and take down here. You have power consumption. Put to 0 and 0. So right now it should give light. Place some lamps everywhere. Doesn't really matter where. This is only for testing, so you can actually fucking see what you did. And you're going to test your submarine. Make sure everything is dry inside. That you don't drown anywhere. That there's no funny stuff going on with the hulls. Just check that the water stops where you want it to stop and that there's no water in between your hatches or doors. Like nothing works right now because nothing is wired. And if there's no funky stuff going on, that means you did a fucking good job. So you have completed part 1 of building your own submarine. Ah, fuck. And now we have a submarine with some base loaders, all the essential items, and a watertight skeleton. So I hope you liked the tutorial. Next part is going to be wiring the submarine, and I'll make a tutorial about that too. So I hope I see you guys in the next episode. Leave a comment and like if you have any questions, just feel free to ask in the comments. I'll probably reply to you. For any other things, just hit me up with a comment as well. I really appreciate it.